Welcome to Puerto Rico, open your eyes. Today we going to answer a question that almost no one in Puerto Rico has asked. Did Puerto Ricans really need U.S. citizenship to serve in the military in 1917? The truth changes everything. Let's start with a simple, modern fact. Today, thousands of people who are not U.S. citizens serve in the U.S. Armed Forces. They serve as permanent residents, people with green cards, and non-citizen U.S. nationals. They deploy, they fight, many even qualify for accelerated citizenship. So let's establish the foundation. Citizenship is not required to serve in the military, not today, and not in the past. If you don't need citizenship today, then Puerto Ricans didn't need it before 1917 either. To make it even clearer, let's look at a modern example that exists right now, American Samoa. It's an unincorporated territory of the United States, just like Puerto Rico. American Samoans are U.S. nationals, not citizens, the exact same legal status Puerto Ricans had before 1917. And yet, they serve in the U.S. military at one of the highest per capita rates in the entire country. They enlist, they deploy, they fight in every branch, all without having citizenship. If American Samoans can serve without citizenship today, then Puerto Ricans could have done so before. 1917. This modern example completely destroys the idea that Puerto Rico needed citizenship to serve. So what was Puerto Rico before 1917? From 1898 to 1917, Puerto Ricans were classified as non-citizen U.S. nationals. This meant they were not foreigners. They owed allegiance to the United States. They were under total U.S. authority, and they could be legally drafted. This is exactly the same as American Samoans today and other non-citizens who currently serve. So again, Puerto Ricans did not need citizenship to serve or be drafted before 1917. So why impose citizenship in 1917? The timeline says it all. March 2nd, 1917. The Jones-Shafferth Act imposes citizenship. April 6th, 1917. The U.S. enters. World War I. May 1917. The draft begins in Puerto Rico. This isn't a coincidence, it's coordination. The U.S. wanted a clear legal basis for the selective service, with no loopholes, no claims of being foreigners, no lawsuits, and no resistance during wartime. But I'll say it again. Citizenship was not necessary to draft Puerto Ricans. They imposed it because it made the process easier, faster, and legally airtight and questionable in court. It wasn't about equality, it was military strategy. After citizenship was imposed, over 20,000 Puerto Ricans were drafted for World War I. But here, the part that almost never mentioned, there was real resistance on the island. Historical records show that 1,541 Puerto Ricans were classified as delinquents for refusing to register. Over 330 were arrested, and 229 ended up in jail for resisting military service. This wasn't minor, it was significant. Many Puerto Ricans saw the imposed citizenship and draft as illegitimate, colonial, and against their principles. One of the most important cases is that of Vicente Balbas Capo. He was a journalist, a political activist, a defender of Puerto Rico's Spanish heritage, and a strong critic of U.S. rule. Balbas Capo rejected the imposed citizenship and refused to register for the draft. He used his newspaper, El Heraldo de las Antillas, to denounce Americanization. He was sentenced to 7 to 8 years in federal prison for his resistance, but he appealed and won at the First Circuit Court in Boston. His case proves the resistance was real, that many Puerto Ricans did not accept the citizenship, and that the government imposed it to eliminate legal opposition. Despite being drafted, Puerto Ricans still didn't have a presidential vote, voting representation in Congress, full constitutional guarantees, a voice in foreign policy, or the power to avoid the war. The insular cases later confirmed that Puerto Rico belongs to, but is not a part of, the United States. This means the citizenship is statutory, not constitutional, and Congress can limit rights whenever it wants. In other words, the citizenship of 1917 wasn't equality, it was a tool of war. So let's answer the question clearly. Did Puerto Ricans need citizenship to serve in 1917? No. Just like American Samoans today, they could serve without it. So why was it imposed? To draft Puerto Ricans into World War I, easily, quickly, and without resistance. It wasn't a gift, it wasn't equality, it was a war strategy, period. If this video opened your eyes, give it a like, share it, and subscribe. I'm Edwin Ortiz, and this is Puerto Rico. Open your eyes. See you in the next episode.